Okay, Molly.
Hey.
Hi. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to my new fancy space that it was only for you.
And
And
like I'm on CNN or Oprah or something.
well, you are an Oscar nominated composer, bassist. I mean, you're a multi-instrumentalist. That's what it is. And yeah, so you're my first Oscar nominated guest on the pod.
Oh.
Yeah, first and not the last.
Definitely
And
not.
next you're going to be Oscar winner. But yes, you were nominated for your composition of the documentary Sugarcane, which is an incredible, heart-wrenching documentary about residential schools. And so thank you. And I think this is up to your speed as being an Oscar-nominated composer.
I'm regular.
Oh, and that's why I love you. Wait, so Molly Obomsawin, everybody, give it up for the queen. Molly, tell me, I kind of threw out some words of who you are, Oscar-nominated composer. How do you identify?
As regular.
You know what? I say regular or normal sometimes, and people are like, Amy, and I'm like, I'm not trying to demean anyone else.
That's actually the best compliment.
Because it's also like civilians. It's like kind of like, there are certain people that have gone through certain things in life. I'm like, oh, the civilians wouldn't understand because, there's certain rigmarole, if that goes within certain industries in life. And we've become soldiers in certain types of ways. But I love being normal too. I'm just a simple girl.
Exactly. Just be simple again. That's all we want. I identify as a citizen of Odanak First Nation.
Yes.
And an Abenaki or Wabanaki woman. And
Wabanaki is the language that is.
Wabanaki is we have a confederacy, Wabanaki Confederacy.
Okay.
It's 5 nations across the border or crossed by the border.
And that goes from Canada into New England, right?
Called, yes. And the Abenaki and Wabanaki people tend to ask what's the difference. And the Abenaki people, which is, where my nation is, Abenaki, we allied with the French and stuck with them, and they have a really hard time with W's.
Okay, so that's why it's Wabanaki or Abenaki. Okay, yes, the W is not, they're not a fan of the W's.
It's not happening up there.
So New England, you're a New England baby.
Yes, I grew up
From?
in Maine.
But more specifically, what part of Maine?
The sticks.
Yes, because I have been to Maine.
Yeah.
I've done photo shoots in Acadia. I've gone to Portland for shoots. I've done a lot of things, but not in Western Maine. So, I've been to beautiful beach houses and done that, and which is gorgeous. So that's different from Western Maine?
So different. I think I went to the beach twice as a kid, the ocean beach.
Yeah.
People don't. It's hard to actually access if you're from Maine and don't have a beach house, a lot of vacationers, all of the shoreline property is owned by people.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are retired CIA end up buying homes in mid-coast Maine. Yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole we could go down, but it's
why
too early for
Maine?
conspiracy theories. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
And you can be kind of incognito there, I think. Yeah. It's Maine is mixed. And I know the hippies of Maine well. So
okay. They're still there. They exist.
They're still there. There's artists, hippie people who kind of move away from places like New York City and have families. So when I was actually born pretty close to the Canadian border in New Hampshire.
Okay.
But I moved to Maine when I was 5, and my family was pretty poor. And my mom was in nursing school. My dad is a musician.
So your dad is the musician.
Yeah.
Oh, and your mom's a nurse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What a combo.
Yeah, cute combo. They did well for about
And
12
your
years.
mom is native. Your father is
My
native.
dad's native.
Is indigenous.
My mom's
okay.
Jewish. From New York City,
We
actually.
love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great combo.
Yeah.
So you guys moved to Western Maine when you're
I
5.
was 5, and we lived in a structure that resembles a barn, and it was
Love.
storage for bread and puppets, stage props was what the barn existed for.
Oh.
Yeah, so bread and puppet theater.
Now
owned this
explain what
barn.
that is.
Okay, so it's cool. It's actually, it has got roots in New York, I think.
Yeah.
Too, and Vermont, and in Maine at that time, they did a lot of political puppetry, basically huge paper mache puppets and parades, stilts, like kind of echoing you've seen those images of like anti-Vietnam War, like huge masks and puppetry in the streets. So that's like.
So that barn was their storage.
That was their storage for a lot of these props. I was actually just sending a friend some photos today of where I grew up, because it's like so crazy. That half of the barn was filled with these props, and the other half, my dad sort of connected some like car lights, like just like rudimentary wiring, and made it somewhat livable for a family of 4.
Wow. So you had electricity.
We had electricity-ish, no running water. We were the last stop on a dirt road after the trailer park.
Yes.
And we would go to the laundromat on the trailer park to get our water.
Wow.
And I lived there until I was 11.
And do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister who's close in age, and then I have 5 other siblings who are kind of spread out on either side of us.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So you all lived in the barn together.
Just me and my mom and my dad and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as a kid, are you, because I grew up poor too, and not having electricity, and me, my mom, and my brother, like huddling around each other to get warm because we didn't have heat. But when you're young, like, I feel like sometimes you don't know
Exactly.
that it's kind of like, oh, I think am I camping? Like, is this what camping
just like a permanent state of camping. That's my childhood.
It's like my trailer doesn't have heat, but I never thought, I don't know, I wasn't aware yet of the riches in the world and
Same.
society.
And
you were in the sticks.
Yeah,
so.
I was so glad and happy with. I mean, it was so beautiful there.
I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah, and we had wood stove, but we definitely like plasticed up the windows in the winter. And like it would snow so much back then, and
that was my next question. So how are the weather conditions in Western Maine? It's really oppressive?
It's like the foothills of the northern end of the Appalachian Mountains, and so you're like
that's where it ends, the trail
in Maine. Yeah.
Oh my
actually,
God. Wait, does it end in Maine?
It ends in Maine at Mount Katahdin, which is actually like the birthplace of the Wabanaki people.
Oh my God. Okay, because I know people have done they start in Georgia or wherever they start, and they hike all the way up. So that's the end of the Appalachian Trail. Mm-hmm. Wow. What did your father was a musician.
Yeah.
What did he play or
He plays
sing?
still. He plays guitar, jazz guitar, and he plays covers from any era that you could possibly want.
Jazz guitar.
Yeah.
So he's like a really good guitar player.
He's a great guitar player, and he's he learned from his dad, actually. So like music goes way back in my family. A big part of the work that I do in jazz specifically now is like to talk about the legacy of how we had big bands out of the residential school.
Tell us about Indigenous Jazz.
Yeah.
Is this a thing we can start saying?
Yes, and should.
Yes, and I noticed that because in my Instagram algorithm, I see the Indigenous big band, the Julie O'Keefe.
Yeah, Julie O'Keefe.
And then I saw you, and I was like, wait, you play? I'm like, what's going on? It was like one of those things, like, I want to see you guys.
You should. I hope we play in New York again soon. And we need to play in Oklahoma.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's
need
actually
a gig.
criminal that we haven't been booked there yet. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Indigenous Jazz.
Since the very beginning. So, I mean, I actually was speaking with a woman. We had a big band gig this weekend, and I was speaking about how, the church obviously impacted Black folks in America and Indigenous people in America. Same time, different
hymns.
Churches, but like hymns, yep. And also we were, sharing ideas from the beginning to sharing songs, right? That's
Yes.
just like what we were doing back then, especially in places like Oklahoma.
Yeah. Which
But
reminds me of one of Sterling's movies. This may
Yeah.
be the last time.
that, yeah,
Which is, that with the Scottish, Irish, immigrants with
Mm-hmm.
us, with his Creek songs and the Catholicism and it's the
I-
chants.
I think he hit on something
Fascinating.
like so core to American music in that film.
Literally.
Actually,
It's like actual that's like real roots American music, right?
So
Sorry,
close.
that made me
No,
think of that.
I mean, when people ask, like, how do I learn more? I actually always point people to that film. So, yeah.
If you've never seen This May Be the Last Time, and you like music and you want to know where, certain people have been inspired by American music, it's a must watch. And it's a deep dive too, and it's fascinating. So Indigenous jazz, you are an Indigenous jazz artist. Who else should we talk about
Yeah. So
from the past, present, everything?
the first woman to ever sing in front of a big band. So like you think of Ella Fitzgerald, you think of Billie Holiday, you think of all these like icons of American jazz singing. They all were trying to sound like her in the 20s and 30s. Her name was Mildred Bailey, and she was Coeur d'Alene.
Oh wait,
The
okay.
first woman to ever sing in
What?
front of a big band. Yeah, she helped Bing Crosby get his start.
Her name again is
Mildred Bailey.
Mildred Bailey. Okay, shout out Mildred Bailey. I need to
Yes.
look. So Indigenous, Coeur d'Alene,
Coeur d'Alene.
and everyone was trying to sound like her.
Everyone, yeah. I mean, she like invented the style of like that like early 20s, 30s like swing singing.
Wow.
Yeah, incredible. And then I guess you fast forward like someone from Oklahoma who's actually Black and Native, a bass player. So insider reference, but his name is Oscar Pettiford. He like invented the style of like jazz bebop playing that everyone tries to do.
Like slapping the bass.
No slapping, but he was like really, really melodic somehow over these like crazy chord structures, nerdy shit. But
Wow.
Don Cherry was half Choctaw. He was really big in free and avant-garde music, which is like kind of a touch point for me.
Yes.
There's so many. Jim Pepper, of course, who was Kaw.
Yes.
And maybe Comanche. I don't want to miscredit, but at least Kaw. Yeah, there's so many, actually.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, how did you choose bass? Because your father played.
Guitar.
I mean, you play a lot of instruments,
I
but
do. I started on bass. I really deeply identify as a bassist, just like in my
yes.
personality, I guess.
Yeah.
I started on actually fiddle because all the kids in my like second and third grade class were able to play fiddle for like 15 minutes a week, and I found that very exciting. We learned hot cross buns.
Yes.
Yeah,
I played
classic.
viola.
Nice.
So I did have a stringed instrument.
You are such a viola type.
Right?
Yes,
I was trying to be
you're, like, a little
different.
edgy.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to play the violin. So I was like,
Yes.
I'll play that.
Like,
And I
dye my
also,
hair purple.
totally. And I also infamously play bass really bad. And I played in a really shitty punk rock band in New York called
Dude,
On the
that's
Prowl.
Called what?
Called On the Prowl.
Okay, represent.
This was before YouTube, so you won't find me embarrassing
Wow.
myself.
Okay, but also like being bad at bass is kind of essential for punk, right?
It
So
was
it's
like punk garage, so
yeah,
it
that's
was like
perfect.
dirty and amazing and grungy.
Hell yeah, that's the shit.
But
No
what-
chops.
Yeah, it was like self-taught, the whole thing. But I feel like too, as a woman bassist, I feel like it is such a grounding instrument, and like we hold down the whole song. I mean, I don't know if that's
We're
like
kind of the secret weapon of the band. Like that's actually what I love about the bass is like you get to be kind of demure in the back, but like you're making
mysterious.
everyone else sound good, and like it's okay that people don't know because like you kind of hold the power. you know?
yes, it's so true. Because then
yeah.
once you don't hear it, you're like,
Yeah, everyone's like, "What happened?
Yeah.
Why am I not dancing anymore?"
yes, it's this grounding force.
Yeah.
And okay, so yes, and did you start with upright bass?
I
as
did
your
actually.
First?
I didn't play electric for quite a while after learning upright, and And my dad used to have to like carry it to school for me.
I'm like, you must have been such a little.
Yeah, it was kooky. Yeah. But my older brother Adam played drums, and so my dad
Wait, did
had
you ever?
guitar,
Did
he
you
played
secretly
drums.
want to play drums ever?
I mean, I always thought drums were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was
secretly
satisfied with bass because I was like right in the middle. I could play with,
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. So your dad would carry your bass to school, and in your school, did they have an orchestra? Like
Yeah,
you had a
yeah,
full on
they
in
had a-
band or just orchestra?
It
Okay.
was like, so in Western Maine, it's like this weird cross section, really vibrant community of folk musicians, and the string program in the school definitely helped, but it's not like a very well-off area. It's pretty remote, but there's because it's in the foothills of these mountains in New England, and a place that was colonized in like every direction. There's like Quebecois music, there's Cape Breton and like Scottish music, Irish music. There's old time music that comes up the Appalachian Trail, right? Lands there. There's
wow.
like people playing rags still there. It's like this
Wow.
dome of like so many eras of American music that
That's-
just kind of got stuck in the
Yeah.
mountains. And I think that mountain people know that happens, right? I think
Yeah.
like down in other places in Appalachia, that's the case too, right? It's like, oh, this one town, people still play this fiddle style that's dead everywhere else.
Yeah,
you
in a
know?
little hollow somewhere, right? Oh, that's so you have this concentration of all these different types of folk music. So you were obviously inspired by folk. You were born into it, literally. And you continued with bass. What happened? So you go all through school playing your music. You're like, obviously your parents are embracing these decisions that you're making. You're playing in, bands, and then how do you decide to go to someplace like Berkeley or Dartmouth for music? Is that something like you wanted to go to learn higher learning and music education, or how do you get from, playing folk into going to Berkeley and Dartmouth? Was it just a natural thing?
So I went to a lot of fiddle camps growing up, also in Maine, central Maine.
That's
and
so Maine.
Yeah,
Yeah, fiddle camps.
So
Love.
Maine. It was so nerdy, but
Love it, love it.
that was like the cool thing to do, actually.
Yeah, like that was the thing to do. Yeah.
I'm really glad a lot of the pictures of me in that era have not survived.
I bet you were adorable.
But in those places, I got to meet kids from Boston who played folk music, and other places that had more kind of access and exposure, and so it didn't seem like unachievable to go to a music school. But what did feel unattainable was like the money part of it. So I auditioned at Berkeley and I got in. I didn't get like a really big scholarship or anything. I wasn't, I was playing like folk bass, It's not, it's not like the
It's a
skill
niche.
set. I was super in demand. But I got in and I was able to go for a year. I was like, I also applied to Dartmouth and got in with a scholarship because they have this great program for natives and they have a lot more funding.
Great.
Yeah, so I
As they should.
As they should, yes. And so I deferred a year from Dartmouth and went to Berkeley for a year to just kind of take music classes, not liberal arts or anything. So it was a lot cheaper. And I
cool. So you
crammed
could
it
just
all
choose
in.
the classes to take.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not trying to graduate from here, so I just get to screw around for a year and try to learn as much as I can.
Yes.
And
that's smart. That's what you did.
And that's what I did, yeah.
So you utilized the money wisely. You were like, okay, I have enough to do a year.
I'm still in debt, but
Okay, so you went a year to Berkeley.
Yeah.
And you did all those cool music classes and you made connections, right? Because I know a lot of times people go to school for the connections and who you meet and who you kind of grow into, your career with.
There was a natural, it was sort of like a natural step because, like I mentioned, a lot of the fiddling folk country community that I knew from growing up from going to these camps was actually based in Boston, and so I was like stepping into a scene.
Yeah.
And I was able to start my first band there.
Yeah.
And start playing country music, like performing and touring. So the whole time I was at Dartmouth, I was like half gone because I was touring and just made it work.
So, but then, okay, so you did the Berkeley, you got your bands going, and then you decided to go to Dartmouth. And how was the Dartmouth experience?
Oh God, it was alienating.
Yeah, I mean, it is like a PWI, right? For the most part, like a predominantly white institution.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, the name alone screams colonization.
Oh yeah, I mean
and especially in that area, you know, like
yeah. I mean that's
the hot seat of American colonization.
That's my people's land where the school is actually. And after Dartmouth, I went back and did some more research there and actually found that like such crazy stories of colonization, but like. So my people were really famous for burning down settlements.
Nice.
But when we would raid and everything, we would capture, typically like take captives, typically children.
Okay.
And we would raise them in our communities to be diplomats in the next generation. So we'd have these like little white kids that we'd be like, okay, but it's one of yours, and now we need peace. Yeah.
I mean, this is what colonization does to a people. You have to figure out how can we, you know, exist. And if this is like we have to integrate certain things into our you know, like religion, into our music, or into the Native American church, so that we can still practice certain things, like integrating the Catholicism, right?
Right, yeah.
So to exist, we had to do certain things.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just like smart diplomacy, actually. You know, it's we're like, okay, we realize this war is going to be intergenerational, so we need to think that way. Anyway, but what I found in my research at Dartmouth was when that school was founded in the 1760s, they were trying to recruit the descendants of the captive white kids back from Odanak back to Dartmouth so that they could make them Protestants and send them to Odanak to like make us like Protestant instead of Catholic.
Okay, so then they had their own agenda within the Protestants and the Catholicism dolls.
Crazy? Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
like this is why I love
so
conspiracies.
American. Yes.
Like, this actually
like,
is all a conspiracy.
It is all a conspiracy. And like, yeah, they're like, okay, now we're Protestant. Now we got to get rid of this Catholicism.
Crazy. So actually at Odanak, we have like the res got split in half at one point, half Protestant, half Catholic, and like to this day, like those families on either side of the line still kind of like feud with each other.
Yeah, it is such a weird thing, like Catholics, and yeah, that's how it is kind of too back home.
Yeah.
So you know, a lot of people who went to boarding schools or descendants of are Catholic, and then some of the people that were either adopted or are Baptist or you know Southern Baptist, and it's interesting.
It's so
weird.
So
dynamic.
Yeah, it's like splintered, but also we're all still just like Indians, like just getting along with each other too. Like, at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know?
That's why I love Oklahoma, because it is, you have the crazy Oklahomans, and then you have the indigenous people. We all try to coexist together. Some people make it harder to do that. I mean, we're like pros at that, learning to adapt. I mean,
it's actually really clear. Like I don't know. I've become very romantic about Oklahoma and Tulsa and like just like Indian territory in general. You know, because growing up, like, I was just not surrounded by natives in the way that you all come up down there. You know, and like to see how you guys make it work, even though your like reservations are like right up against people you fought against for like probably like
and we're also like killing us.
Yeah, like historically killing each other.
Like especially for being Osage, like the whole Osage Reign of Terror, and you know those families are still there.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, for
like,
real.
Right there.
For real. But I think too, like there's also just like Oklahoma in general is it's one of those like, I don't want to say forgotten, but like ignored places in America, in the same way that places like Western Maine, like rural places where with a lot of poor people and not a lot of like access.
Yeah.
And I relate to that growing up in Western Maine. Like, I was definitely surrounded by mostly white settler Mainers, but people got along actually better than you would expect because we were all poor.
Yes,
You
it's a
know?
socioeconomic situation,
is,
right?
it is.
It's like you can relate because
Yeah.
we're all just poor.
And I think that's actually why I had the hardest time at Dartmouth. It was the first time in my life that I was around like
super wealthy kids.
Surrounded by another income bracket. And I was like, oh, everything's different.
Yeah.
I actually don't know how to relate to hardly anyone here.
Right. So did you finish Dartmouth?
I did.
Did you graduate?
Yeah, I did somehow.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it.
And then what is it called? Diploma, title? What do you do?
I actually double majored.
Major. That's what the word is.
Yeah, in comparative literature and government, like.
Okay, work, not music.
So no,
or,
but like it was kind of interpretive. Compared
and
to
I don't understand
yeah.
college and universities at all.
So I took a lot of classes with this amazing Homa Nation teacher named Bruce Dutu, who taught federal Indian law. So that
at Dartmouth?
At Dartmouth.
Okay.
Yeah, he's amazing. I feel like I remember. You know, it's a good teacher when you remember almost everything they ever said.
Yes.
You know, and he was one of those.
Oh, I love every human that's like that.
Yeah.
But teachers specifically. Yeah.
And then comparative literature was like, it's basically a catch-all for like if you have a lot of different stuff that doesn't fall into one major, you can just. So music was part of it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And then you played music at Dartmouth. Were you like part of do they have like an orchestra or a symphony or do they have a school band or something?
Yeah, they have actually an experimental big band.
Oh.
It was perfect.
Exciting.
It was like the only place that was, a good fit.
Okay, so you found your people.
Yeah.
You found your people. And then did you so you left Dartmouth and then did you go to Boston? Like what was your next move after graduation?
I moved to Boston for a year, and then I moved to New York right on the brink of the pandemic hitting.
Oh my God, so fun.
Yeah,
Perfect
fall of
timing.
2019. Oh my God. Yeah, I was like ready to do my New York thing, you know. I had this perfect apartment. I was like,
at least you had a perfect apartment to stay inside.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was like an old like warehouse in like far east Williamsburg, and
amazing.
Yeah, it was like this like beautiful like wood floors and all these artists living in it. It was cool.
Wait, what is the building called?
I don't remember.
Okay, because a lot of the factories where I used to live in Bushwick, they have names to the buildings. So I was like, wait, did we live in the same building?
Oh wait, that's cute. I don't think it had a name.
Like there was like the McKibben Lofts, there was the Tea Factory, the Castle Braid.
No.
But yeah, okay. So do you still live in the nice loft?
No, I wish I did.
You moved out.
I had to leave. Yeah. So I had all these tour dates to pay for my New York living, and
so okay, so you get the diploma, then you're like, oh wait, now I have to actually pay back and I need to make money. But you were already a touring musician.
Yeah.
So you're making money, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go do these tours. I want to talk about DeerLady.
yeah, me too.
I am obsessed with Greatest Hits. That is the only album you have right now from DeerLady, which is an indie. Would you say indie rock, shoegaze?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good. And the first time I heard DeerLady was on Reservation Dogs.
Hell yeah.
Right? It was the DeerLady episode. And I was like, what is that? Oh, your voice is haunting. And it's like, oh. So yes, that is what I would love to ask you. How did DeerLady come about?
So during the pandemic, I was living in this cabin in northern Maine, close to Zibayek, the Passamaquoddy Res, and was just writing songs and also writing my first jazz album, Sweet Tooth. I was like doing all of it.
Which we will also be talking about, because wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of like writing constantly, and because I had this like songwriter.
Oh my God, you had all that time.
Yeah, all this time. And my band had broken up, so I was like, Yeah. I was like, I have all these songs, I have all these feelings about colonizers. I have,
Yeah.
you know, and so I was just like,
That was the perfect timing. 2020,
Yeah.
like post George Floyd, like finally everyone was like, it was
Like, let's
just
talk about
built
it.
up,
Yeah.
like, and here we are.
Yeah. So I wrote all those songs, and I actually I wrote them at the same time as my jazz stuff, and I recorded it within the same year, and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen with the world, or you know, I felt like my career was over because my band had broken up. I was like, I'm just gonna put it all out and just see what happens.
Yes.
And
So DeerLady and Sweet Tooth, you did that both around the same time.
yeah, pretty much simultaneously.
So good.
And then I put Sweet Tooth out first, and Sterling heard about it and reached out to me and was like, yo, do you have anything else unreleased? And I was like, actually, yes, but it's really different. It probably doesn't
That
make
was the
sense.
song?
Yeah, the song and the rest of the album at that time. And so he heard like the rough mixes and
Oh my God. And
Yeah.
that song in in that episode, is it there?
There.
There, yeah.
which was inspired by the Tommy Orange book.
Oh,
There.
amazing. Okay, wow. So, and Sterling just does that, right? He just, and we were at the same Samantha Crane show
Oh, yeah.
in Beacon when she was describing her song that she sent to him just like as a voice note. He was like, it's perfect, don't change it. Like, that's so, I love when we can like help each other out. And
For real.
And that's how I found out about you. And it's like, he's doing the good work.
He really is. He really, like, the more that his rise continues, I feel like he just keeps bringing people and proving that he's in it for the community. It's really inspiring, actually.
Yes.
I hope that everyone who's getting visibility keeps that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Sweet Tooth. I don't know if I'm done with DeerLady yet.
Let's talk about DeerLady.
I'm not,
more,
okay, I got too excited because DeerLady, you started the band, you were recording music for it. Did you have a full, because you didn't have a band yet, so did you
No.
just make up like studio musicians, or how did
Yeah,
that?
I have been doing this tour with this man who has since passed on, but he was a really big influence on me. His name was Patrick Haggerty, and he toured as Lavender Country, and he says that he was the first openly gay country singer. He
Clock
put
it.
together this
You
amazing queer
could
tour.
eat it or a whole pack.
Yeah, exactly. I have feelings about him. But we went on tour during it was kind of low-key during the pandemic, but we were in the South, so the pandemic was not acknowledged.
Yeah, they're like, you can come down here,
Yeah.
we don't care.
We had an amazing time in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. It was going down in
Yeah,
Gainesville
it really was.
during the pandemic.
The party never stopped in Gainesville.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was my first tour, just playing my songs solo, but the way it was kind of like a roundup tour, so we had a house band for all of the individual artists that were on it, and we would support each other's songs.
Fun.
It was so fun, and so I called some of the musicians from that band just to work on the songs with me, and then I was recommended this guitarist named Magdalena Abrego,
who's in the
is
band.
now the other half of DeerLady. Yeah, amazing Chicago-born guitarist, punk. But
Yes,
also
her guitar. Oh,
Yeah.
it sounds so good.
her command of pedals and
Yes.
electronics is
Sonically, it's all your music sonically drives me crazy in the best way. Before today, I was cutting my hair, listening to Sweet Tooth.
Oh.
And I love Sun Ra, and
Hell
it was
yeah.
giving me Sun Ra Orchestra, and I was like, Molly, and I was just razoring my hair. Yeah, so for me, I am, and Sweet Tooth, I mean, I wrote some notes here, they're just my mind, oh my God. Epic album.
Thank you.
I think it is epic, and I love how it kind of entangles tribal history with this, phenomenal musicianship. And it's kind of cemented you as one of the greats.
Oh, my
We will be talking about you because it is,
Oh.
It is phenomenal. And you should be very proud. And it is incredible. And it's also a big part of, like, I have to have you on the podcast because it is, you're so talented.
Thank you so much, dude.
Sweet Tooth, did you record that in Brooklyn, in New York, or did you go home? Like, because I know I hear different things. Like, I feel like I hear, like, there's, like, some elders, there's, like, some kind of talking and speaking. Yeah.
So I recorded it all in New Haven, actually, at the studio that I love called Firehouse 12. But so the compositions are a mix of, like, old songs that are actually original, like, written songs by my ancestors. Because, I don't know, people, like, there's so many different kinds of tribal music. Some of them are, like, ancient, like 13,000 years we're talking, right? Some of them are, like, introduced by the church on that album. But there's this one song that we know was written in the 1700s because it's telling of the story of when we left our land, which I think it's so deep to like, I don't know, to think of our ancestors in the 1700s as songwriters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, people don't give us that kind of,
they were doing
space.
that back
they
then,
were
too.
Doing that. And they were like, we're here to tell a story.
Yes.
And that's actually what I just wanted to do with the whole album, like, with all the influences in it. But when I was at Dartmouth doing that research I talked about, after graduating, I found these they had brought me in to listen to their archives that had a bunch of Abenaki stuff, including the recording that you hear on that of Tifil Panadis telling a traditional story.
Wow.
So that was recorded on a reel-to-reel in 1956.
Wow. And that was conducted by the school.
Yeah.
They were, like,
hired
having the
this
songwriters.
Ethnologist. Well, yeah, in the 50s, they hired this ethnologist to go to Odanak and, like, research us.
Yeah. And, like, put down, like, what? Oh, wow.
But I think in 2019 or 2020, when they asked me to come back, they were like, oh, we have all this stuff that we shouldn't have. Like, let's do this the right way and actually bring in Abenakis to come and look at their own stuff.
Yeah. And so do they have, like, a little, is it in a library there? Or do they give it back
like,
to
archive.
Okay, an
But
archive.
Odanak has, this is like the shout out that I always give, we have the oldest Indigenous museum in all of Quebec, maybe all of Canada. It was founded in 1960, and the building that it's in was our Catholic day school, and we reclaimed that shit, and we're like, we're putting our culture in here now.
Yes.
So the Dartmouth actually repatriated all of those recordings because we had this amazing museum.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so they did right.
Yeah, they did.
Dartmouth tried. They tried.
They tried it. They don't do right a lot of the rest of the time, especially recently with, like, Palestine and all kinds of other things. But but in that instance, they did right.
Yeah. And you recommend young Indigenous jazz artists on the come up, because we know you're out there, to go to school, to go to these institutions. Would you recommend that?
Oh my God, the question that I'm so glad to be asked this question, actually. You know, jazz as an art form is in a sort of particular place because of these institutions. It's a music that comes from communities, comes from obviously Black and Native communities and urban communities a lot of the time. And over the course of the last 50 years, with these institutions starting to accept jazz as a valid art form, because, of course, out of racism, they did not for a very long time.
Yeah.
They have really actually, like, gentrified the music in a way that, you don't really hear it being played organically in those communities that it comes from so much anymore. Maybe that happens to every genre after a while, but I have a lot of, like, thoughts, and a lot of my
jazz has definitely been gentrified, though.
Yeah, a lot of my mentors too, who have been on the scene forever and have engaged or chosen not to engage with higher education and jazz. They have really strong feelings about the way that the music is claimed and reshaped and taught in institutions, because, like, ultimately it was originally an oral tradition.
Yeah.
And it was played in communities. And so when you put it in a context of like these like wealthy institutions and you teach everyone how to play, right? And teach everyone the same, that's actually like antithetical to the whole whole core of jazz, right? Which is about personality. It's about swagger. It's about resistance, you know? And like, so I don't know. I feel like if you can learn the blues, if you can play with other people, especially play with like elders in the jazz scene, like, and really just like work on your voice, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying don't study, you know.
I mean, I feel like,
right?
studying
like,
is so
but
important.
you can learn from everywhere outside of the institution too, right? And you can like engage with the institution a little, go to a class, but don't like pay a tuition.
Right. Don't put yourself in debt.
Yeah.
If you don't
And like I don't know. I don't know that anyone is truly self-taught, but I think especially in jazz, it's like it's very mentor-mentee. So you can find that and you can find community to play with, and like that's gonna get you far. But I have had some amazing mentors over the years. I don't know if I should acknowledge them here. Probably Taylor Hobina was a big one.
Give him a shout out.
Susan Hagen, this amazing female like classical bassist, taught me a lot when I was in Boston. Yeah, Bill Cole, shout out, elder who really like opened my mind about jazz. Warren Smith, all kinds of people.
Incredible. Do you have a favorite baby, a favorite song of yours, or from Greatest Hits?
From Greatest Hits. I think Believer is probably my favorite. Yeah.
A banger.
It came out like
And you have a video for that.
I do.
Yes, okay, because I've seen that video.
I wrote it. It was like the last night before the last day in the studio, and I was like, we need one more song, and it just like poured out, and I feel like some of the best songs often come out that way.
Yeah. You have so much going on. And this is a question, but what's next for you? What's going on? I saw you last at Indigenous New York Fashion Week, and you're just all over. But is there anything coming up that you want to talk about or give a shout out?
Yeah.
Anyone? Is there anyone that you want to work with that you haven't? Before we get into what's next, I want to manifest this. Who would you like to work with, or who? Anyone?
Wow. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed by this question.
That is very overwhelming.
I'm like so lucky right now that I've been able to have collaborations that I never thought were possible.
Yeah.
Like, and even like, you know, like I just got off the road with Yo-Yo Ma, which was like hilarious.
That's right. I forgot. I was
so
seeing that.
Yeah.
Your Instagram. I literally was like, oh my God, you're playing with Yo-Yo Ma. So, okay. That's what I mean. Like, I don't even know, like, do I ask that question of, is there anyone that you have dreams of like playing with or being in the room with them? Yo-Yo Ma, wow. How is Yo-Yo Ma?
He was so silly, dude. He was like a silly elder.
Oh, love.
Total goof. I would love to collaborate with Aruj Aftab. Like, she's like a big person to me. But in terms of like jazz, like greats, I would love to work with Henry Threadgill. In terms of like people on the scene, like DeerLady stuff, like we actually haven't been able to meet yet, which is a travesty, but I would love to be able to collaborate with KP.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm such a huge Black Belt Eagle Scout fan, and like, I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, she's amazing.
DeerLady.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That needs.
And
can we get a double show, a double billing?
At least.
I mean, it's New York. Can we make this happen?
Let's make it happen. Amy,
do we have to go somewhere? Like, where else do we have to go? Or can we just meet in the middle? We'll just do it in Oklahoma.
Exactly. Meet in the middle. That's what Indian Territory is there for.
Exactly. Let's just meet in the middle. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I forgot the Yo-Yo Ma's. So I'm still shook. I am still shook.
I know. I feel so silly about it. I'm just like, I don't know. He told me that he's really into like reading people. Like that's like his service that he provides.
wait, stop. Like reading them the house down. Like, I'm gonna tell you, this is what you're.
Yeah. This is
he's this.
On. Yeah, he was
is he like, you're giving me an Aquarius vibe? Is he that?
He told me that I'm weird and complex.
Wait,
I know. I was like,
Yo-Yo Ma?
Thank you.
Weird and complex.
And I was like, okay, but like,
I mean, not a compliment.
for sure. But I'm like, okay, Yo-Yo Ma, you're weird too.
You're so weird.
So weird. Have you
You're
ever
Yo-Yo Ma.
seen him talk? Like he's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, like you're weird and awkward. Wait, what did he say to you?
He said, what, that I'm weird and complex?
You're weird and complex.
Yeah.
That's
It was
cool.
good.
Did you hear anyone else?
No, he told my ex that he's very grounded. I was like, okay, it's a little basic, right?
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
you can
is
say that
that
about
Yo-Yo
anybody.
Ma
It's like a horoscope, you know?
Is this like his like shtick? Like
No, but I guess I was having this like challenge in the Yo-Yo Ma set list where I was like, so Yo-Yo like decided to like play his like Bach thing in the middle of this set that had nothing to do with Bach. And I was like, it's fine, give the people what they want, you know?
right, this is your moment,
Yeah,
Yo-Yo
this
Ma.
is
Okay.
your moment. But
Yeah.
then he asked me to like score something, and I was like, okay, like why don't you play your Bach, and I'm gonna put you through a pedal board and just manipulate
Yes.
the shit out of
Yes.
Bach and what you're doing. And I was like, let me like give you some like distortion, some like really
Yes.
like backwards effects. And that's when he called me weird.
Weird.
He was like, oh, you're weird.
Oh my God, I love that. No, that's perfect. That is like current. That is different. It's like outside of the box.
Yeah.
And what a compliment
I
from
know.
Yo-Yo
I
Ma
was like,
to be like, oh, I freaked out fucking Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Hell
I was
yeah.
Like, I bet you've never played Bach like this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear this. Was it recorded?
It's not recorded. It's once in a lifetime.
I mean, did they take your phone away? Because we need to have a voice note. Next time this happens.
Okay, yeah, next time.
Were there a lot of other women there
In that show?
room?
Yeah, there was one. Actually, one.
So no, there wasn't. That's my point. Is that you're in these amazing rooms as this epic, amazing songwriter, composer, and you're taking up that space, and you're fucking doing shit and running Yo-Yo Ma's cello through a distortion pedal. Come on.
Yeah, I'm weirding out Yo-Yo Ma.
I love that. There's like nothing more. I mean, that's incredible.
It was kind of like so the point of the set was it was like Abenaki and we're like doing some Abenaki music and whatever. And there's this thing and this convention in classical music where you're not allowed to like arrange or touch Bach. Like you're not allowed to like change Bach at all.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love this.
I was like, really though, if like we're gonna change our traditional music for you, you're gonna and
That
you're
part.
not even like German or whatever Bach was. Like
Yeah.
you know, like
Exactly.
You're gonna have to let me change Bach.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause,
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not into like I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Traditions
that.
versus traditions. We can at least equalize here a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Tell the people where they can find you,
Oh, yeah.
where you want to be seen at, Instagram, all the socials. Tell us.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram, Mali Obomsawin. I'm not even gonna spell it out for you. You're gonna do your best.
What a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Every letter, it's just Obomsawin. It's like Mali Obomsawin. It's a gorgeous name.
Thank you.
So yes, you're on Instagram.
That's
and
pretty much the only place. I have a website. You can look me up. I'm gonna be playing at Big Ears with my jazz band and with a new band that is a collaboration with Raven Chacon called Lazy Horse.
Oh, amazing.
It's like our debut. Yeah, it's a really fun
Stop.
project.
When is that?
End of March.
Oh,
in
I'm so
Knoxville,
excited.
Tennessee.
Oh, that's so
Road
exciting.
trip. Yeah.
That's exciting. When is the next DeerLady show?
I actually don't think we have anything booked right now.
Okay.
We're writing a new album this winter.
Okay, so you're
stay tuned.
busy.
Yeah.
So you're busy, you're writing, you're hunkering down. What does writing a new album, how do you get into that frame of mind?
I'm just like trying to write like 300 songs because most of them are horse shit.
So you just write.
Right.
And then maybe one
And like
you
listen
catching
to,
the big fish.
Yeah, listen to a lot of like references, just like, oh, this is like a groove that I love, or there's a chord progression, just stealing ideas.
Do you write the music first or the words?
I typically I live in the word world.
Okay, word world first.
First for me. And Magdalena is like a brilliant musical mind and doesn't really touch words. So we've been sort of like splitting some duties in that way. it's been really fun to write this one from scratch with her because the last one I
Was all
came
you.
with everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we have some new DeerLady. It's going to be coming out. And we need a show in New York
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
Or Beacon.
Beacon.
Or, I
Yeah,
mean, it was a
loved
vibe.
That venue we
Yeah,
played-
that venue was
we
great.
saw, yeah.
The Yard. Shout out to the Yard in Beacon.
Yes.
But yeah, Molly, thank you so much for doing this, coming here. You have an album to write, so I'm going to let you go.
happen
But thanks again for coming on Let's Have a Powwow, and we'll see you soon, relatives.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye.
Judge.
Okay, that's it.
What the hell just happened?
Dude, we just had like
Are we
an
weird and
auntie
complex?
storm. We
That
just did
was
an
so
auntie
interesting.
storm.
That was interesting.
That was
Yeah,
so
my-
many
my-
people come in. That was so novel. That was
You, it was good in a good way? What's going on?
We didn't get any I think these are the first Native American
Yeah.
conversations.
Oh,
we've had.
nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotta
I'm the
have
only one, and
more,
it's usually
gotta
in that
have
little
more.
other one. Yeah. And
Like,
yeah,
I
now you
heard
can
of
add it to
Oklahoma
your,
being a
yeah.
Native American stronghold.
Oh, it is, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's
I've
the
driven through Oklahoma a few
forcibly
times. It is
removed to
dilapidated as
Oklahoma
hell.
by Andrew Jackson.
It got
We had
left
to all live
behind.
there.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we all had to move there. So that's why it's like a high concentration of a bunch of different tribes.
Even tribes from out here.
From here, yeah, Lenape, New York City, their reservation is in Oklahoma, close to my reservation. The original people from Manhattan, the Lenape, their reservation's Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
So they're that far removed.
That's so left behind. I've driven through there, and it's just like
It's a
all of
trip.
America is just like whatever.
It's a
It's
trip.
like Western Maine. It's like we're like 20 years behind
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
else.
It's crazy. Just like broken down houses off the side of the highway. All
Oh
the way
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
totally.
I'm from Texas. So I've driven.
Oh, you know
around,
Texas. Well, yeah,
and
similar.
driving through
Where are you from in
Oklahoma.
Texas?
I'm from Houston.
Okay.
so
I grew up
the
in
lawless,
Sugar Land.
like- oh, you
Yeah.
grew up